Welcome to another exciting day. Today it's going to be a longer video as we will be exploring the myth and legacy of Cú Chulainn in Irish folklore. This is going to be a university level exploration. So sit back, relax, smash that subscribe button and join me and Astro as we delve into this exciting myth of the Irish hero Cú Chulainn. So what we're going to be looking at in this is the historical and cultural context, the origins and early life of Cú Chulainn, the heroic deeds and feats of Cú Chulainn, the tragic destiny and themes of sacrifice in the Cú Chulainn stories, as well as Cú Chulainn's legacy and influence in the Irish culture. And we're going to finish it by looking at the scholarly interpretations and critical perspectives in the Cú Chulainn's stories. So first off, we're going to look at the historical and cultural context of Cú Chulainn. The first part we're going to look at is the overview of the Ulster cycle and the role of Cú Chulainn within it. And as you guys may know, the Ulster cycle is one of the most important cycles of the Irish mythological cycles. It holds the most information of what we know of all the heroes, the deities of the Irish Celtic culture. Now, the Ulster cycle is a collection of medieval Irish heroic tales that center around the heroes, kings, and battles of the Iliad, the people who lived in the northeastern part of Ireland. This cycle of stories is one of the four major cycles of Irish mythology, the others being the mythological cycle, the Fenian cycle, and the historical cycle. The Ulster cycle is rich in mythology, history, and legend, and it proves a fascinating insight into the culture, society, and values of ancient Ireland. At the heart of the Ulster cycle is the character Cú Chulainn, a legendary hero who is considered one of the greatest warriors in Irish mythology. Cú Chulainn's story is one of courage, strength, and loyalty and tragedy, and his deeds are central to many of the most famous tales of the Ulster cycle. Cú Chulainn, whose name means Cullen's hound, was born Cynthina, the son of the god Lugh, and the mortal woman Deichtine. His birth and upbringing were marked by signs of his future greatness, and from an early age he displayed remarkable skill and prowess in battle. Cú Chulainn's most famous attribute was his rastad, or warp spasm, a berserker rage that made him an unstoppable force on the battlefield. One of the most well-known stories involving Cú Chulainn is a Táin Bó Cúailnge, or the cattle raid of Cooley. This epic tale tells of Queen Medb of Connacht's quest to steal the brown bull of Cooley, a prized possession of the Iliad. Cú Chulainn single-handedly defeats and defends Ulster against Medb forces. It displays his incredible feats of strength and valor as he battles against overwhelming odds, his loyalty to his people, and determination to protect his homeland. And it makes him a legendary figure in Irish mythology. Another significant aspect of Cú Chulainn's story is his relationship with the woman in his life. His wife Emer is a central figure in many of the tales, and their love and devotion to each other are a recurring theme throughout the Ulster cycle. Cú Chulainn's relationships with other women, such as the warrior Queen Scash and the tragic Dere, also play an important roles in shaping his character and his destiny. Cú Chulainn's tragic death is one of the most poignant moments in the Ulster cycle. In the tale of his final battle, the hero is mortally wounded, but he ties himself to a standing stone so he can die on his feet, facing his enemies. Even in death, Cú Chulainn remains a symbol of courage, honor, and sacrifice, and his legacy lives on in the stories and songs of us Irish people. Throughout the Ulster cycle, Cú Chulainn embodies the ideals of ancient Irish hero, of loyalty, bravery, skill in battle, and a deep connection to his people and his land. His story resonates with themes of honor, duty, and the struggle between fate and free will, making him a timeless and enduring figure in Irish mythology. In addition to his role as a warrior hero, Cú Chulainn also represents the complex nature of Irish identity and the blending of pagan and Christian influences in the medieval period. His story reflects the values and beliefs of a society in which it was created, as well as the enduring power of myth and legend to shape cultural identity and collective memory. The Ulster cycle is a treasure trove of ancient Irish history and legend, and Cú Chulainn stands as one of the most iconic and enduring figures. Through his deeds and his relationships and ultimate sacrifice, Cú Chulainn embodies the ideals of the heroic age and continues to inspire and captivate audiences to this day. His story is a testament to the enduring power of myth, legend, and illuminate the human experience and connect us to the rich tapestry of the Irish cultural heritage. Now, let's look and compare Cú Chulainn to other mythological heroes in Celtic folklore. Certainly, Cú Chulainn is also known as Santara, is one of the most famous and celebrated heroes in Celtic mythology, particularly in Ireland. Let's compare Cú Chulainn to some other mythological heroes in Celtic literature. Let's start with Finn McCool. The similarities, both Cú Chulainn and Finn, are renowned warriors in Irish mythology. They both possess extraordinary strength, bravery, and skills in battle. The differences, however, while Cú Chulainn is known for his youthful vigor and uncontrollable rage in battle, Finn is often depicted as a wise and experienced leader, known for his wisdom and strategic thinking. Now let's look at and compare him to Lugh. The similarities is both Cú Chulainn and Lugh are associated with great feats of strength and skill. They're both considered heroic figures in Celtic mythology. The differences, however, is Lugh is often portrayed as a god and a master of many skills, including craftsmanship and the arts, where Cú Chulainn is more focused on his prowess in battle and combat. Now, let's look at, in Welsh mythology, Welsh Celtic mythology, Crochan. Now, the similarities is that they share similar names for Cú Chulainn and Cochrane, and both associated with heroic deeds and battles. But the difference is while Cú Chulainn is more known for his individual feats in battles, Cochrane in Welsh is often portrayed as a part of a group or as a part of a larger narrative. Now let's look at for Bodega. Both Cú Chulainn and Bodega are figures known for their defense against oppressors. They are remembered for their courage and determination in the face of adversity. But the differences come in that Bodega was a historical figure, a queen of the British Celtic tribe who led a rebellion against Roman Empire. Cú Chulainn, on the other hand, is a legendary hero of Irish mythology. Now let's look at Chiru. The similarities of both Cú Chulainn and Chiru are prominent, that they are both big figures in Irish mythology. They are known for their cunning and prowess in battle. The difference is Chiru is portrayed as a shapeshifter and a sorcerer, while Cú Chulainn is more focused on his martial skills and physical powers. While Cú Chulainn shares some similarities with other mythological heroes in Celtic literature in terms of bravery and skill in battle, he also stands out for his unique characteristics, such as his uncontrollable rage in battle and his association with the Ulster cycle of Irish mythology. Each of these heroes brings their own distinct qualities and stories to the rich tapestries of Celtic mythology. Now let's take a moment and examine the societal and cultural influences that developed Cú Chulainn's character. Now, Cú Chulainn is a legendary figure, known, like was said, for his strength, bravery, and fierce warrior spirit. His character is shaped by a complex interplay of sociological, societal, and cultural influences that affect and reflect the values and beliefs of ancient Ireland. We are going to explore how these influences have contributed to the development of his character. As for societal norms and expectations play a significant role in shaping Cú Chulainn's character. In ancient Irish society, warriors were highly esteemed, revered for their courage and prowess in battle. As a young warrior, Cú Chulainn was experienced and expected to uphold these ideas and prove himself in combat to earn respect and honor. This sociological pressure to excel in warfare and demonstrate strength and valor influenced Cú Chulainn's development as a warrior and shaped his identity as a legendary hero. Furthermore, the cultural context of ancient Ireland also played a critical role. Irish mythology and folklore were deeply ingrained in the societal consciousness, and tales of heroic feats and epic battles were passed down through generations, and still are to this day. These stories served as a source of inspiration and aspiration for young warriors like Cú Chulainn, who sought to emulate the heroic deeds that their legendary predecessors did. The cultural values of honor, loyalty, and courage were also important influences on Cú Chulainn's character and development. These values were deeply rooted in Irish society and were reflected in the code of honor that governed the behavior of warriors. Cú Chulainn's unwavering loyalty to his king Concobar and his steadfast commitment to defending his people and homeland exemplify these cultural values and demonstrate the importance of honor and duty in shaping his character. Moreover, the mythology and symbolism surrounding Cú Chulainn are deeply intertwined in the landscape of natural environment of ancient Ireland. The rugged terrain, mist-covered mountains, and wild seas of the Irish countryside provide a mythological backdrop for the legendary tales of Cú Chulainn and adventurous battles, and connection between the natural world and Cú Chulainn's character highlights its importance to the environment in shaping his identity as a warrior and a hero. Now, we also got to look at the religious beliefs and spiritual practices, because they also played a huge role in shaping Cú Chulainn's character. Yes, everybody hears you, Astro. You are gorgeous. That is Astro, everybody. As you know from other stories, he likes putting his input in. The ancient Celts believed in a pantheon of gods and goddesses who influenced the course of human events and bestowed blessings upon warriors in battle. Cú Chulainn's relationship with the supernatural world, particularly as he encounters, and many encounters with unmatched, reflects the mystical and spiritual dimensions of his character and underscores the influence of religious beliefs on his development as a legendary hero. This societal and cultural influences developed of Cú Chulainn's character are multifaceted and very complex, as you can see, reflecting the values, beliefs, and traditions of ancient Irish society, which a lot of them still hold strong in Irish society today. Cú Chulainn's identity as a warrior, hero, and mythic figure has shaped by the interplay of societal norms cultural values, and environmental influences and spiritual beliefs that defined the world in which he lived. By exploring these influences, we gain a deeper understanding of the rich tapestry of mythology and folklore that surrounds Cú Chulainn, and appreciate the enduring legacy of his legendary hero in Irish culture. Now, let's look at his origins and early life. We're going to start with his birth and upbringing. Cú Chulainn, his birth and upbringing are central to his story because they shape him formably as a warrior he becomes. The birth of Cú Chulainn, originally named Cynthia, was surrounded by prophecy and said divine intervention. His father, the god Lugh, while his mother was Deichtine, sister of King Colkibert of Ulster. According to the myths, Deichtine was visited by a mysterious figure who foretold of the greatness of her unborn child. This child was destined to become a legendary hero, but his life would be brief and filled with tragedy. When Cynthia was born, he exhibited extraordinary strength, agility and vigor from a young age. His childhood was marked by a series of remarkable events that foreshadowed his future as a warrior. One such event occurred when he was only 7 years old. He attended a feast at the house of Culann the smith, who owned a fierce dog named Culann. The dog was known for his ferocity and was set loose to protect the house. Unaware of the danger, Cynthia arrived late to the feast and found himself face to face with the snarling beast. In a display of incredible bravery and skill, he wrestled the dog to the ground and killed it with his bare hand, earning him the name Cú Chulainn, which means Culann's hound. Impressed by the boy's bravery and strength, King Colkibert took Cú Chulainn under his wing and arranged for him to receive the best training in combat and warfare. Cú Chulainn's training was rigorous and intense, honing its natural talents and shaping him into the formidable warrior. He excelled in all forms of combat, mastering the use of weapons and displaying unmatched skill and bravery on the battlefield. Cú Chulainn's upbringing was not without its challenges. He faced many trials and tribulations that tested his courage and resolve. One of the most famous stories from his youth is the tale of Táin Bó Cúailnge, or the cattle raid of Cooley. In this epic tale, Cú Chulainn single-handedly defends Ulster against the invading army of Queen Medb of Connacht, displaying incredible feats of strength and valor. Although throughout his life, Cú Chulainn remained fiercely loyal to his people and his king, always putting his needs and their needs before his own. His reputation as a warrior spread far and wide, earning him both admiration and fear from friend and foe alike. Despite his many victories on the battlefield, Cú Chulainn's life was marked with tragedy and sorrow. In the end, he met a heroic death, fulfilling the prophecy that has been foretold from the moment of his birth. Cú Chulainn's tale remains a timeless act of heroism and sacrifice, embodying the spirit of the warrior and the enduring legacy of Irish mythology. His birth and upbringing played a critical role in shaping him to the legendary figure he became, a symbol of courage, strength, and unwavering loyalty. Now let's look specifically at that wonderful tale. Cú Chulainn, the legendary hero, he, as a young boy, as was said, he earned exceptional strength and skill in combat. But when he was 7, like was mentioned, he faced a fierce hound. And that's how he got his name. His reputation continued to grow as he performed more heroic deeds, such as single combat with champions and supernatural beings, the defending of his people against various threats. His name became synonymous with bravery, loyalty, and unmatched combat prowess, cementing his place as one of the greatest heroes in Irish mythology. Now we're going to look at his training under Scethrath and the development of his martial skills. Cú Chulainn, also known as Cynthana, is a legendary hero. From a young age, he displayed the remarkable potential. His training began under guidance of renowned martial tutors, including a warrior woman of Scethrath, the Isle of Skye. Under her tutelage, Cú Chulainn honed his skills in combat, learning various fighting techniques, weaponry mastery, and strategic warfare tactics. His training was rigorous, demanding, pushing him to his physical and mental limits to become a formidable warrior. One of his most famous episodes in Cú Chulainn's training is the Warp Spasm, a berserker rage that transformed him into an unstoppable force on the battlefield. Through his intense physical and mental training, he learned to harness this primal fury, enhancing his strength, speed, and endurance to supernatural levels. The Warp Spasm became his trademark in battle, striking fear into the hearts of his enemies. Cú Chulainn's martial skills were not limited to brute strength alone. He was also master of the Gíborga, a legendary spear that could pierce any defense and cause fatal wounds. His expertise in using this weapon showcased his precision and dexterity in strategic thinking in combat. With the Gíborga in hand, Cú Chulainn became a formidable adversary, capable of turning the tide of any battle with a single well-armed strike. In addition to his physical prowess, Cú Chulainn possessed unmatched courage and resilience and unwavering determination in face of adversity. His indomitable spirit and warrior ethos inspired awe and admiration in those who witnessed these feats on the battlefield. Cú Chulainn was a trained and martial skills not only made him legendary, but also a symbol of valor and honor in Irish mythology. Cú Chulainn's training are a testament to his dedication, discipline, and unwavering commitment to becoming the ultimate warrior. And no, not the wrestling ultimate warrior. Through rigorous training, mastery of weapons, and harnessing his inner strength, Cú Chulainn achieved legendary status as a hero whose name would be remembered for generations to come. Okay, now we're going to look at the heroic deeds and feats of Cú Chulainn. And we're going to look first at the analysis of Cú Chulainn in the role in the Táin Bó Cúailnge. Cú Chulainn is one of the most famous figures, known for his exceptional skills. The Táin Bó Cúailnge is a pre-Christian Irish epic that tells the story of a cattle raid led by Queen Medb of Connacht to steal the prize bull of Ulster. Cú Chulainn, a young warrior of incredible strength and prowess, plays a pivotal role in defending Ulster against the invading forces of Connacht. His actions throughout the epic highlight his complex character and unwavering dedication to his people. One of his characteristics is his unmatched skill in battle. Cú Chulainn's role in the Táin is not only just a warrior, but also that of a hero, driven by a sense of duty and honor, despite the facing overwhelming odds and knowing his actions will ultimately lead to his own death. He chooses to stand and fight for his people, embodying the ideals of bravery and self-sacrifice. His loyalty to Ulster and his determination to protect his homeland at all costs set him apart as a true hero in Irish mythology. Throughout the Táin, Cú Chulainn faces a series of challenges and adversities and that test his strength, courage, and resolve. One of the most iconic episodes in the epic is his single combat with the warrior champion Feats, a former friend and ally who is forced to fight against him on behalf of Queen Medb. The battle between Cú Chulainn and Feats is poignant in the tragic moment in the story, highlighting the complex relationships and conflicting loyalties that drive the narrative forward. In addition to his prowess in battle, Cú Chulainn is also known for his supernatural abilities and his connection to the other world. Throughout the Táin, he is aided by the god Lugh, who bestows upon him a series of magical weapons and protections that enhance his strength and endurance in combat. These supernatural elements add a layer of mysticism to Cú Chulainn's character and underscore his status as a hero of myth and legend. Cú Chulainn's role in the Táin is not without flaws, though, and complexities. Despite his heroism and bravery, he's also portrayed as a flawed and human character, prone to moments of rage and arrogance and impulsiveness. These flaws add depth to his character and make him more a relatable and compelling figure in the narrative, showcasing the complexities of heroism and the struggles of being a mortal in a world of gods and monsters. In a climactic final battle of the Táin, Cú Chulainn faces overwhelming odds and he takes on the entire army of Connacht single-handedly. Despite his heroic effort, he is ultimately brought down by a combination of treachery and exhaustion, fulfilling the prophecy of his early death. His demise is a tragic and poignant moment in the epic, underscoring the themes of sacrifice and destiny that run throughout the story. Cú Chulainn's role in the Táin Bó Cúailnge is central to the narrative and offers a compelling portrait of a hero driven by duty, honor, and loyalty. His unmatched skill in battle, his supernatural abilities, and his complex character make him a figure of enduring fascination in Irish mythology. Through his actions and choices, Cú Chulainn embodies the ideals of heroism and sacrifice, leaving a lasting legacy that continues to inspire and captivate audiences to this day. Now, we're going to look at his battle powers. We're going to look at the Randstad and the Gilburga technique. One of the most distinctive aspects of Cú Chulainn's battle abilities is his use of Randstad, a berserker rage that transforms him into a terrifying and unstoppable force of destruction. When the Randstad overtakes him, Cú Chulainn undergoes a monstrous physical transformation. His body contorting and twisting into grotesque shapes, his eyes blood bulging and his muscles swelling with unnatural strength. In this state, he becomes a whirlwind of violence and fury, laying waste to any foe foolish enough to stand in his way. The Randstad only enhances Cú Chulainn's physical abilities, but also instills in him a relentless and savage determination to achieve victory at any cost. It is said that in this berserk state, he becomes impervious to pain and fatigue, fighting with ferocity and intensity that strikes fear into the heart of his enemies. The Randstad is a powerful weapon in Cú Chulainn's arsenal, allowing him to overcome overwhelming odds and emerge victorious in the midst of dire circumstances. In addition to the Randstad, Cú Chulainn also is renowned for his mastery of the Gilburga technique, a deadly spear thrust that is said to be nearly impossible to defend against. The Gilburga is a fearsome weapon, crafted from the bones of a sea monster and imbued with potent magical properties. When Cú Chulainn wields the Gilburga in battle, he is able to strike with unnerving accuracy and lethal precision, piercing even the most formidable armor and inflicting mortal wounds upon his enemies. The Gilburga technique involves a specific manner of thrusting the spear, aiming for the target's heart or other vital organs, with the intent to cause maximum damage. Cú Chulainn's skill with this spear is such that he is able to unleash devastating attack with lightning speed and unparalleled accuracy, making it a deadly and virtually unstoppable technique on the battlefield. Now, combine that with the Randstad, he becomes one of the most unstoppable people on the battlefield. Now, let's examine the key episodes in his heroic career. Cú Chulainn is one of the most famous heroes in Irish mythology. His legendary career is filled with numerous key episodes that solidified his status as a hero. These episodes showcased his exceptional strength and combat skills, and also his unwavering loyalty to his people. One of the earliest episodes is when he single-handedly defended Ulster against the armies of Queen Medb. Despite being the only warrior able to fight due to a gas placed upon the men of Ulster, Cú Chulainn displayed his unmatched ferocity and courage, holding off the invaders for days. This episode highlighted his loyalty to his people and his willingness to sacrifice himself for their protection. Another significant episode in Cú Chulainn's career was his training with the warrior woman of Scholary in Alba, or Scotland. Under her guidance, he mastered the arts of combat, the Gilburga and the Randstad, and they also helped him hone his skills. Now, Cú Chulainn's most famous single combat was against his own son, Colno, whom he unknowingly challenged. Despite recognizing his opponent's identity, Cú Chulainn fought Colno to the death, proving his commitment and upholding his honor and loyalty to his people above all else. This tragic episode underscores the complexities of his character and the sacrifices he is willing to make for his principles. The death of Cú Chulainn is perhaps the most iconic episode in his heroic career. In his final battle at the age of 27, he was mortally wounded but refused to die lying down. Tying himself to a standing zone, he faced his enemies one last time, striking fear into his heart until his final breath. This act of defiance and bravery solidified his legacy as a hero who would never back down in the face of adversity. At this point also, the Morgan holds him. She's the one who challenged him throughout his career, throughout everything. Madame Verrou holds him at this point, showing that she truly did love him and care for him. Now, let's look at the themes in the Cú Chulainn story of destiny and sacrifice. Before we talk about any of that, we must talk about the geese and how it impacted Cú Chulainn's fate. Cú Chulainn's the geese is central to Celtic mythology, and it was sacred to magical bond that could be imposed upon a person, often by a supernatural being or deity. And violating one's geese was believed to bring about disastrous consequences. In the case of Cú Chulainn, he wasn't just bound by one, he was bound by several throughout his life, and each one influencing his actions and ultimately contributing to his death. One of the most well-known Giza imposed upon Cú Chulainn was his prohibition against eating dog meat, a taboo that seemed from his childhood when he unwittingly consumed the flesh of a magical hound. This geese served as a test of Cú Chulainn's self-control and adherence to his honor, showcasing his dedication to honor and his ability to resist temptation. Another significant geese that shaped Cú Chulainn's fate was his obligation to never refuse hospitality. This was a common theme in Irish Celtic culture. This guise, unfortunately, led to Cú Chulainn acceptance of hospitality of his enemies, which in turn put him in a dangerous situation and ultimately his death. Despite his formidable strength in battle, Cú Chulainn's adherence to guise also made him vulnerable. His enemies were well aware of his guise and sought ways to exploit them to gain advantage. For example, the warrior Queen Medb used Cú Chulainn's guise against him by luring him to a trap through the guise of offering him hospitality, leading him to be isolated and his eventual death. Throughout his life, Cú Chulainn struggled to balance his obligations under the guise with his duties as a warrior and a hero. His adherence to these sacred bonds earned him both respect and admiration, but also placed him in perilous situations and ultimate death. The tragic fate of Cú Chulainn serves as a cautionary tale about power and consequences of the guise. While these binding obligations were meant to guide and protect him, like a lot in Irish Celtic culture, it serves as a double-edged sword, influences his decisions and actions in ways that ultimately lead to his death. In the end, Cú Chulainn's story highlights the complex interplay between fate, free will, and the spiritual forces at work. His adherence to the guise defined his character and his legacy, showcasing both strengths and limitations of these magical bonds. Cú Chulainn's fate was deeply entwined with the concept and a powerful binding force that shaped his actions and death. Cú Chulainn throughout his life has demonstrated honor, courage, loyalty, but also faced the consequences of his choices. The guise serve as a central theme to the story, highlighting the complexities of fate, destiny, and the supernatural forces that govern the lives of heroes in Irish Celtic culture. Now, let's look at Cú Chulainn's relationships with other characters. Cú Chulainn and Concobar. This is one of the most central and poignant relationships of the Ulster cycle. It is between Cú Chulainn and Concobar, the King of Ulster. Concobar plays a significant role in Cú Chulainn's life, both as a patron and a source of conflict. While Concobar often relies on Cú Chulainn's strength and loyalty to defend Ulster, their relationship is complicated by power struggles and betrayals. Cú Chulainn's loyalty to Concobar is tested when the king betrays him by making advances toward Emer, Cú Chulainn's beloved. This betrayal leads to a deep rift between the two characters, culminating in Cú Chulainn's refusal to fight for Ulster during the Táin Bó Cúailnge. Despite their conflict, Cú Chulainn's relationship with Concobar highlights themes of loyalty, honor, and the complexities of power and dynamics in Irish culture and society. Now let's look at Cú Chulainn's wife, Emer. Emer is Cú Chulainn's wife and is another central figure in his life and a source of motivation for his actions throughout the Ulster cycle. Their relationship is defined by love, loyalty, and mutual respect. Emer serves as kind of a moral compass for Cú Chulainn, guiding him in moments of doubt and challenging him to uphold his values. Cú Chulainn's fierce devotion to Emer is evident in his willingness to go to great lengths to protect her honor and safety, even when faced with former foes, such as Queen Medb and her army. Emer's unwilling support and understanding play a critical role in Cú Chulainn's development as a hero, underlying and highlighting the importance of emotional connections and personal relationships in shaping one's identity and actions. Now let's look at Cú Chulainn and Feodra. Feodra, Cú Chulainn's childhood friend and rival, represents a complex relationship characterized by loyalty, respect, and tragedy. The bond between the two is tested when they are forced to fight each other in single combat during the Táin Bó Cúailnge. Despite their friendship, both warriors fulfill their duties as champions of their respective sides, leading to a heartbreaking confrontation that results in Frida's death. The battle between Cú Chulainn and Frida serves as a poignant moment for the Ulster cycle, highlighting the conflicting loyalties and moral dilemmas faced by the characters as they navigate the demands of war and honor. Now let's look at Cú Chulainn and Fergus. Fergus Mac, the former king of Ulster and ally to Cú Chulainn, plays a significant role in the hero's life. As a mentor and guide, Fergus' wisdom and his experience often valuable insights to Cú Chulainn in helping him navigate the complexities of politics, warfare, and honor. Despite their differences in status and background, Fergus and Cú Chulainn share a deep bond based on the mutual respect and shared values. Fergus's value and loyalty to Cú Chulainn is tested when he is forced to fight against him on behalf of being mad. Their conflicting loyalties and the tragic consequences of their actions underscores the themes of honor, duty, and sacrifice. Through his interactions with characters such as Conquebert, Yma, Frida, and Fergus, Cú Chulainn's character is shaped and tested, revealing the depths of his courage, identity, and destiny throughout the Ulster cycle. Now let's look at more in depth on the explanation of the themes of duty, loyalty, and sacrifice in Cú Chulainn's story. Cú Chulainn is a legendary hero. Duty is a central theme of the story, and Cú Chulainn is bound by his obligations as a warrior and a hero from a young age. Cú Chulainn demonstrates a deep sense of duty to his people and his king, willing to take up arms and defend his homeland from invaders and to uphold the honor of his people. His unwavering commitment to his duty as a warrior drives him to face countless challenges and adversities, even when the odds are stacked against him. Cú Chulainn's sense of duty is a defining characteristic and aspect of his character, shaping his actions and decisions throughout his life. Loyalty is another key theme, as he forms strong bonds with individuals and causes that he holds dear. His loyalty to his friends and family and his king are unwavering. They lead him to make great sacrifices in their service. Cú Chulainn's loyalty is tested time and time again, and he is forced to choose between conflicting loyalties and allegiances. Despite the challenges he faces, Cú Chulainn remains steadfast in his loyalty to those he cares about, even when it puts him in great danger. Now, the theme of sacrifice is perhaps the most profound theme in Cú Chulainn's story, and his willingness to give up everything in the service of duty and his values. Throughout his life, he makes countless sacrifices, from risking his own life in battle, enduring great personal suffering for the greater good. His willingness to sacrifice himself for the benefit of others is a testament to his strength and character and his deep sense of honor. Cú Chulainn's sacrifices are not made lightly, but as a result of careful consideration and a deep understanding of the responsibilities that come with his status as a hero. One of the most famous examples is his self-imposed gis or taboos, which dictate certain behaviors and actions he must adhere to. And it restricts his freedom and forces him to make great and difficult choices and able to uphold his honor despite these challenges. The story itself is a powerful exploration of the themes of duty, loyalty, and sacrifice, showcasing the ways in which these themes shape Cú Chulainn's character and influence his events in life. His unwavering commitment, this made him a legendary figure in Irish mythology. His story also serves as a reminder and the importance of honoring one's oaths and obligations and staying true to one's values and being willing to make sacrifice for the benefit of others. Now let's look at his influence and his legacy. He is one of the most iconic figures. His story is primarily found in the Ulster cycle, particularly in the epic known as the Cattle-Raid of Cú Chulainn. One of the defining characteristics of Cú Chulainn is, of course, his battle. But he is also, and his legacy can also be seen in many readings and retellings and adaptations in literature and folklore. Writers such as W.B. Yeats, Lady Gregory, Seamus Henry have all drawn inspiration from the character of Cú Chulainn, waving and weaving his exploits into their own works, help keeping his legend alive for future generations, in addition to the normal literature. Cú Chulainn also has been depicted as a visual arts, music, and even on stage, further cementing his place in Irish cultural heritage. Beyond the realms of alternate literature, Cú Chulainn's legacy has also had a significant impact on modern pop culture. His image and name have been used in advertising, sports teams' logos, and even the inspiration for superhero characters in comic books and video games. The widespread recognition of Cú Chulainn outside the traditional folklore speaks to the enduring appeal of his story and the universal themes it embodies. One of the reasons for Cú Chulainn's enduring legacy in Irish culture is his timeless appeal of his character. He embodies the ideal of heroism, loyalty, and sacrifice, while also grappling with the darker aspects of human nature, such as rage, hubris, and inner conflict. This complexity makes Cú Chulainn a relatable and multifaceted figure whose story continues to resonate with audiences of all ages and backgrounds. Cú Chulainn's enduring legacy in Irish culture and folklore is a testament to the power of myth and storytelling to capture the imagination and shape the values of society through his legendary deeds and complex character. He has become an enduring symbol of heroism, honor, and eternal struggle between light and dark in the human soul. His story will continue to inspire and captivate audiences for generations to come, ensuring the legacy and his legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of Irish people. Now, we're going to look at the analysis and adaptations and reinterpretations of Cú Chulainn's myth in contemporary media. Literature has been a rich source of adaptations of Cú Chulainn's myth, with authors dwelling upon the original stories to create new narratives. Morgan Llewellyn's novel, Red Branch, Cú Chulainn is portrayed as a complex and flawed hero who struggles with his own inner demon, with also facing external threats. The novel delves into Cú Chulainn's psyche, exploring the motivations for fears in a way that adds depth to character and makes him more relatable to modern readers. In addition to literature, Cú Chulainn's myth is also known and exploited in film and television. One notable example is the animated film The Secret of Kells, which incorporates elements of Irish mythology, including Cú Chulainn, into the story of the film. Cú Chulainn is depicted as a legendary figure whose exploits inspire the protagonist on his own journey of self-discovery and heroism. The film's visual style draws upon the traditional Celtic art and design, creating a unique, immersive world that brings myth and life in a new, captivating way. Television series is also taken on Cú Chulainn's myths. The popular show American Gods, based on a novel by Neil Gaiman. In the series, Cú Chulainn is one of the old gods who has been brought to America by immigrants, where he struggles to maintain power and influence in a changing world. The show explores the themes of identity, belief, and cultural heritage through the character of Cú Chulainn, presenting a modern reinterpretation of the myth that resonates with contemporary audiences. Video games have also provided a platform of reimagining Cú Chulainn's myth, with the character appearing in various titles such as Smite and Fate Grand Order. In these games, Cú Chulainn is often portrayed as a powerful warrior with unique abilities and skills, drawing upon his mythological origins to create a compelling gameplay experience. Players have the opportunity to control Cú Chulainn in battle, experiencing firsthand the thrill of legendary feats and adventures. Overall, the adaptations and reinterpretation of Chulainn's myth in contemporary media serve to keep the story alive and relevant to modern audiences, while also allowing new interpretations and perspectives on the character and his world. The only time I disagree with them doing that is when they bastardize the original source material, change his sex or background just to suit a modern narrative. But the ones so far have been kept true to how he's portrayed in the Irish myth. Now, let's talk about the symbolic significance of Cú Chulainn as a cultural hero. One of the key symbolic aspects of Cú Chulainn is his embodiment of the warrior archetype. Known as for his exceptional combat skills, unmatched bravery, fierce loyalty to his people, Cú Chulainn represents the ideal of the heroic warrior in Celtic society. His legendary deeds in battle, including single-handedly holding off the armies of Queen Medb of Connacht in the Táin, symbolize the triumph of courage and strength in the face of overwhelming odds. Cú Chulainn's martial prowess and unwavering determination inspire a generation of Irish people to face adversity with courage and resilience. Furthermore, Cú Chulainn's complex and multifaceted character, often a symbolic representation of human experience, despite his extraordinary abilities in the battlefield. Cú Chulainn is also depicted as a deeply flawed and vulnerable hero. His inner struggles, such as his uncontrollable rage, his Radstad, and his tragic fate foretold by Táin Bó Cúailnge, humanize him and make him relatable to audiences. Cú Chulainn's internal conflicts and moral dilemmas reflect the universal themes of human nature, including struggle between duty and personal desires, the price of greatness, and the inevitability of mortality. Moreover, Cú Chulainn's connection to the natural world symbolizes the deep-rooted bond between Celtic people and their environment. As a hero who closely associated with the land of Ireland, Cú Chulainn embodies the spirit of the land itself. His adventures take place on a rugged landscapes of ancient Ireland, where he navigates treacherous terrain, battles mythical creatures, and encounters supernatural beings. Cú Chulainn's interactions with the natural worlds, such as encounters with mystical otherworld and his communion with animals, symbolize the interconnectedness of human nature and the divine Celtic cosmology. In addition to Cú Chulainn's relationship with characters, they offer mythological symbolic insights into themes of kinship, honor, duty, and loyalty. His close bond with his charioteer Lugh, his mentor, the warrior women of Sethard, his unrequited love for Emer, the daughter of Fogomachan, highlight the importance of friendship, mentorship, and romantic love in Celtic society. Cú Chulainn's unwavering loyalty to his friends and loved ones, as well as a sense of duty to his people and his king, demonstrate the values of honor and integrity that are cherished in Irish culture. Cú Chulainn's symbolic significance as a cultural hero lies in his embodiment of the warrior archetype, his representation of human experience and connection to the natural world, his relationships with other characters, and his universal appeal as a legendary figure whose stories have been passed down through generations. Cú Chulainn continues to captivate audiences with his timeless virtues and enduring legacy of the Irish hero of mythology. Now, we're going to get into more of a scholarly interpretations. Now, the we're going to get into the analysis of different interpretations and theories surrounding Cú Chulainn's character in myth. One of the most common interpretations of Cú Chulainn is that of a hero who embodies the ideal of bravery, loyalty, and honor. In this view, Cú Chulainn is seen as a noble warrior who fights for his people and upholds the values of his culture. His legendary feats in battle, such as single-handedly holding off an entire army at the Ford of the Brugh, are seen as examples of exceptional courage and skill. Exactly, Astro. Another interpretation of Cú Chulainn's character is it focuses on his darker aspects, such as his uncontrollable rage and violence. Cú Chulainn's Randstad or war spasm, a berserker-like state in which he becomes an unstoppable killing machine, and is often seen as a symbol of inner turmoil and inner demons. Some scholars argue that Cú Chulainn's violent nature is a reflection of the brutal and chaotic world of ancient Ireland and Ireland in the world today, where warfare and conflict were constant. In addition to his role as a warrior, Cú Chulainn also is often interpreted as a tragic figure. His ultimate fate, as prophesied by the Druid and the Vorgu, is one of loneliness and ultimate death. Cú Chulainn's tragic flaw, his hubris, and his arrogance ultimately leads to his downfall. His death in the Battle of Murman, where he is betrayed by his enemies and dies, tied to a standing stone, is seen as a poignant and sorrowful end to his story. One theory that has been posed by scholars is that Cú Chulainn's character and myth are influences by early Celtic myths and legends. Some scholars have suggested that Cú Chulainn may be based on earlier Celtic deities or heroes, such as Lugh or Cú. The parallels between them and early figures, such as their supernatural abilities, heroic deeds, suggest a continuity of mythic themes and motifs in the Celtic culture. Another theory surrounding Cú Chulainn's character is that he represents a symbolic figure of Irish identity and nationalism. Cú Chulainn, with his fierce loyalty to his people and his willingness to sacrifice himself for a greater good, is often seen as a symbol of Irish resistance against foreign invaders. His myth has become used as a source of inspiration for Irish nationalists and writers who see Cú Chulainn as a reflection of the enduring spirit of the Irish people that don't want to see their culture wiped out like the current Irish government is trying to do and the Irish people yet again are standing up against. Now, in modern times, Cú Chulainn's character and myths have been reinterpreted and reimagined in various ways. Literature, art, pulp culture. He's been portrayed as a complex and multi-dimensional figure. Some works emphasizing his heroic qualities, others exploring his darker aspects. Writers such as Yeats, Hemingway, Llewellyn have all drawn inspiration from the myths in their works, creating new interpretations of his character for contemporary audiences. Cú Chulainn's character and myths are rich and multifaceted, with interpretations ranging from heroic, tragic, to symbolic. Whether seen as a noble warrior or a tormented soul, or a symbol of Irish identity, Cú Chulainn continues to capture the imagination of scholars, writers, and artists alike. His story remains a powerful and enduring part of Irish mythology and culture, and it offers insights into the complexity of human nature and the enduring qualities and themes of courage, sacrifice, and honor. Now let's go critical evaluation of the cultural and literary significance of Cú Chulainn's story. On its cultural significance, one of the most striking aspects of Cú Chulainn's story is its exploration of heroism and courage. Cú Chulainn is the epitome of the hero in Celtic mythology, displaying incredible feats of strength and bravery and skill in battle. His unwavering loyalty to his people, his willingness to face any challenge, no matter how daunting, make him a symbol of resilience and determination. Cú Chulainn's story highlights the importance of honor and loyalty within Celtic society. Throughout his adventures, Cú Chulainn demonstrates his commitments to his friends and family. Now, this all makes a great role model, and the fact that he adheres to his true code of ethics makes him a great role model for young men and women alike. Now let's look at the literary significance. In addition to cultural importance, Cú Chulainn's story has a lasting impact on literature, inspired countless writers and artists over the centuries. The tales of a heroic warrior who single-handedly defends his homeland against invaders has captured the imagination of audiences around the world. One of the key literary themes is the concept of the tragic hero. Despite his incredible strength and skill in battle, he is ultimately undone by his own flaws and weakness, his hubris, his fierce temper, and his refusal to heed warnings of those around him to lead his downfall in the end. This tragic arc has inspired countless writers from Shakespeare to Tolkien to explore the complexities of human nature and the consequence of pride. Furthermore, Cú Chulainn's story is a rich symbolism of metaphor, making it a fertile ground for literary analysis. A hero's battle with supernatural foes, his transformation into a raging beast, and his tragic death at the hands of his enemies are all powerful symbols that resonate with readers on a deep emotional level. Cú Chulainn's story is a cultural and literary treasure that continues to captivate audiences to this day. Through its exploration of heroism, honor, and loyalty, the tale of a legendary Irish warrior offers valuable insights into beliefs and values of Celtic people. Its enduring literary appeal and its themes of tragedy has inspired generations of writers and artists to create their own works of art. Cú Chulainn's story stands as a testament to the power and myth and legend that shape our understanding of the world and ourselves. Now let's reflect on its enduring appeal. Cú Chulainn, the legendary hero, one of the main reasons why it's so enduring is that it's remarkable and often supernatural feats. From his legendary battle skills to his strength and agility, he embodies the archetype of a hero who overcomes seemingly insurmountable challenges through courage and determination. His epic battles with formidable foes. Moreover, Cú Chulainn's myth also characterized with the flaws and inner conflicts, which add the depth and complexity to his character. Despite his extraordinary abilities, Cú Chulainn is often portrayed as flawed. He struggles with his own mortality and the consequences of his actions. And who among us can't say that we all grapple with the consequences of our actions? His fierce temper and uncontrollable rage are both his greatest strength and tragic weakness, leading to his eventual downfall and tragic death. His inner conflict, his heroic nature, his human vulnerabilities makes Cú Chulainn a relatable and multidimensional character who struggles merely the complexities of human experience. Furthermore, the themes explored in Cú Chulainn's myths, such as love, honor, loyalty, and sacrifice in the pursuit of glory, are universal and timeless, presenting the audiences with battlegrounds for the ages. A hero's unwavering loyalty to his friends, his commitment to uphold his honor, fulfilling his destiny are values that transcend time and place, speaking to fundamental aspects of human nature and the universal struggle between good and evil. In addition to this, Cú Chulainn's myth also reflects the rich cultural heritage and history of Ireland, showcasing the country's unique folklore and traditions and belief. As a central figure, Cú Chulainn embodies the spirit of the ancient Celts, their heroic ethos serving as a symbol of national identity and pride. And its enduring appeal and relevance can be attributed to its captivating storytelling, memorable characters, and universal themes. He still, to this day, continues to inspire and fascinate audiences with his epic adventures and tragic falls, timeless values, and that all makes him a beloved and enduring figure in the world of mythology and literature. Now, suggestions, if you'd like to know more, are references for Cuchulainn can be found in various sources of Irish folklore and literature. You can find them in the Ulster cycle, Táin Bó Cúailnge, or the Coderated Queen, Adar Con Corach, the Death of Cuchulainn, also in the Libra Gobrath Aran, also known as the Book of Invasions, Alchemid an Scotia, Colloquy of the Ancients, and also in various poems and sagas. Cuchulainn's appearance in various other Irish poems and sagas and folklore tales across different manuscripts and connections. These are just a few examples of where you can find references to Cuchulainn in Irish folklore and stories, and which have been passed down through generations and are an integral part of Irish culture and heritage. Thank you for joining me today in this tale. I hope you enjoyed this as I did of doing the research and putting it together. Go rabba mach garag.